Welcome everyone to a brand new series of Zendesk Essentials. So if you're new here, this series is designed specifically for those who are new to Zendesk or are just looking to get the most out of its core features and functionality. So whether you're getting started or just looking for a quick refresher on your knowledge of Zendesk, this series will provide fundamentals that you need to know how to set up your knowledge base, along with real examples of common configurations to help you maximize your use of Zendesk. So in this first session, we'll introduce the concept of self-service and explore the essential elements of effective self-service channels. We'll cover planning self-service content, share best practices for creating an internal knowledge base as well as an external knowledge base with B2C, B2B, and B2E examples, and discuss how you can set up multi-language support. We'll also have a lot of demonstrations throughout the presentation, and we'll leave plenty, like Brad mentioned, leave plenty of time for Q&A at the end. But before we dive into all that, some quick introductions. My name is Shravanti. I am a customer success manager here at Zendesk. My role is to share best practices with Zendesk customers to make sure that they're optimized with Zendesk and they're using it to its full potential and it's working to support their unique needs. I'll pass it over to Jonathan.
Yeah, hey everyone, I'm Jonathan. I'm a solutions consultant working here at Zendesk. I'm part of a special program that gets aligned with customers who need sort of an extra layer of support, like a pseudo admin that helps optimize their instances. So I work with a bunch of customers across a variety of industries. But before Zendesk, I also worked as a support agent within various companies. So I know everything from the agent side, and now working behind the scenes with customers, I'm continually learning and trying to improve their instance. So hopefully Shravanti and I can help give you some guidance and best practices of how we can improve your instance.
Yeah. So we'll begin this session today by mapping out your business model with the focus on self-service. So we'll cover the fundamentals of what self-service really means, breaking it down into its essential elements. We'll also walk through practical steps to help you plan an effective self-service channel tailored to your business needs. Next week, we'll focus on adding users and creating your help center framework. So this will include managing self-service roles, content permissions to ensure that the right people have access to the right information. And we'll also talk about how to optimize your help center's branding to provide a cohesive and user-friendly experience. And then the following week, we'll move on to creating and organizing knowledge base articles. So here you'll learn how to write and edit articles effectively, use AI tools to enhance your content, and as well as best practices for how to structure and organize your articles so that it's easy to navigate and helpful for your end users. So customers value self-service because it offers quick and easy access to the information they need, enhancing their overall experience. So that's why an effective knowledge base plays a vital role in your customer support strategy. With our Help Center platform, you can organize important information in a way that benefits both your customers as well as your support team. So in this session, we'll be focusing on those foundational steps to set up your self-service successfully. For the purpose of our demos, we'll be using a fictitious company called Coffee & Co., a premium supplier of coffee beans with a global customer base. So as this company grows, they're looking to implement strategies to effectively scale their customer support team, ensuring faster response times and more efficient service. So what is self-service? When you have a small number of customers, it's feasible for your support staff to provide them with all of the answers and attention they need. But as your company grows and your audience increases, that task becomes more and more difficult. So a knowledge-based system enables you to deliver high-quality customer support at scale without burning out your agents. So as businesses grow and more support tickets start to come in and customers ask me, their questions can vary from something that's very basic to more complex queries. So through it all, support agents have to proactively address issues and maintain a high level of service. But when ticket volumes increase, so do agents' stress levels, which is why having a good self-service plan is important. To begin providing self-service, you need somewhere to publish your collection of knowledge-based content that is easily accessible to your end users and customers. And that's where the Help Center comes in. You can build a self-service channel that includes these customer-facing elements, like the first one being the knowledge base, which is your where all of your articles live, that you organize into a structure and categorize as needed. You can also enable knowledge-based comments. So you can allow your customers to add comments to articles with questions that they have, and you can answer those directly in those articles. A customer request portal, which is where customers submit tickets if they can't find the information that they need in your knowledge base, and also where they can manage and just keep an eye of any open tickets that they have. And lastly, community, which is a forum for your customers to connect and collaborate, crowdsource support, share knowledge, and provide you with feedback. So as we go through this self-service series, you'll discover other Zendesk features that will help you create, maintain, monitor, and improve your content, and just help your customers be successful. All right, so what is a knowledge base? So think of a knowledge base as an online resource hub packed with detailed information about your products or services. It can cover a wide range of topics, from getting started guides to advanced troubleshooting tips. Knowledge bases play a crucial role in customer self-service, allowing users to find answers independently around the clock. For customers, it gives them the power to resolve issues on their own anytime, even outside of business hours. By providing clear, accessible articles, customers can quickly find solutions without needing to contact support. And this reduces the effort on their part and decreases the volume of support requests coming in, and leads to greater satisfaction. For your support team, a thoughtfully organized knowledge base also benefits them, because instead of repeatedly typing out answers, they can easily locate and share relevant articles with customers, saving them time, but also allowing them to prioritize those more complex or unique customer challenges. Many of us will recognize this screenshot as the Zendesk Help Center, which is our go-to resource for articles and other support resources to quickly resolve issues. So in this session and the upcoming ones, we'll walk you through how to build out your Help Center content. So just some best practices to keep in mind as you get started is to use clear categories and subcategories so that users can easily find the information that they're looking for. I also recommend writing in a straightforward, easy to understand way to help users quickly grasp the information that they need, try and avoid jargon if possible. Regularly review and update articles to ensure that they're accurate and relevant, and add images or screenshots where required to help explain complex topics, but avoid any clutter. And we'll talk about all of these more in the next few sessions. So why is self-service important? It gives your customers the power to help themselves with clear, easy to navigate content that boosts their confidence and encourages independence. When customers can quickly resolve common questions on their own, your support team gets more time to tackle those tougher issues. It also helps build your brand's credibility by offering dependable self-service options that go beyond what customers expect. So when people consistently find accurate and useful information without needing to ask for help, they'll trust your brand more, and trust turns into loyalty and positive word of mouth. And lastly, it helps you keep an eye on how your customers use your content to make your support even better. By understanding which articles they find most helpful, where they're getting stuck, you can create and update resources that truly meets their needs. The first step in launching your help center is to plan the key tasks that you'll need to accomplish. So this includes when to launch your help center, who creates the content, who sets up and maintains your brands. So when it comes to when to launch your help center, our recommendation is to launch early. So early launch helps you test and learn what works best. It allows you to improve the content and set up based on real user feedback. So the sooner you launch, the faster you begin building a valuable resource for your customers. Launching your help center at the same time as your Zendesk support creates a seamless customer experience. They can choose between self-service and direct support, whichever suits their needs best. If an immediate launch isn't possible, support tickets provide valuable insight into your customers' most common issues. So you can then use this data to prioritize creating articles that address those top questions and problems. So focus on high impact topics first, and then you can gradually expand the knowledge base, adding more detailed and diverse content over time. Use clear and simple language for your first few articles. This makes it easy for your customers to find and understand information quickly. Even if your products are complex, breaking information into smaller parts helps build a strong base. You can always add more details and improve design as you go. So who should be writing your help center content? Professional writers bring strong skills in creating clean, user-friendly, well-structured articles, which can improve the overall quality of your help center. However, if you don't have access to professional writers, support staff with deep product knowledge and good writing abilities can effectively help create content that meets your customer needs. Subject matter experts possess in-depth knowledge about your products or services, so working closely with them is important to verify facts, clarify complex topics, and review content for technical accuracy. Smaller teams may not have the resources to assign separate people for every task. As a result, team members commonly take on several responsibilities. This requires flexibility, but allows for faster decision-making and closer alignment between the content and customer needs. In larger organizations, we see that there are typically dedicated roles that handle content creation. Writers produce articles, reviewers check them for accuracy and style, and then ensure that the branding is consistent. And this keeps content high quality and uniform. So why is it important to plan your content project? So firstly, it helps clarify your vision and focus. Taking the time to plan helps you pinpoint your goals for the self-service channel and helps you decide which content should take priority. So having a clear direction keeps your efforts purposeful and impactful. Secondly, it helps assign ownership and accountability. Early planning lets you designate who will create, review, oversee, and design your help center. And this clarity empowers your team, eliminates any uncertainty, and just drives smoother collaboration. And lastly, it helps deliver a strong, timely launch. Thoughtful preparation lets you set firm deadlines and coordinate tasks so that your help center can go live on schedule, fully stocked with valuable resources that will serve your customers from day one. So enabling your help center is a simple process, and it's something that only the account owner can do. Once you enable it, your help center is created in setup mode. That means end users cannot see it yet, so your team can work on your knowledge base, set up categories and sections, and customize the theme without worrying about customers accessing it too early. So that is why we also do not recommend activating your help center straight away. You'll have plenty of time to prepare it before going live. So for the demo, we'll use the visual to walk you through the two simple steps. if you're in, or if you have Zendesk open right now, if you maneuver to the top right corner, you will see those 4 little squares. And if you click on the product tray on the top right, you'll see knowledge being one of the options. Once you click on that page, you'll see, yep, the second screenshot on there. You'll see the Get Started button. You just need to click on that, and then you will be in setup mode and you can get started. Who your customers are will likely influence how you structure your knowledge base. So for example, if your customers are consumers, you'll want to focus on an architecture that helps them use your products, navigate your site, and understand orders, returns, shipping issues, and so on. So in the Help Center, at the topmost level, there are categories. Within categories, you can create sections to provide another level of content organization. So categories, as we mentioned, are the top level, is the top level in organization. These categories contain sections. Every Help Center must have at least one category. And if you have only one category in your Help Center, then the category itself is hidden to end users, and they only see the sections in your Help Center. Sections contain related articles. So to add a section, you must have at least one category to act as its parent container, except on enterprise plans. On enterprise, sections can also contain subsections. So a section can be a child of a category or a section, whereas on other plans, each section must be a child of a category. I hope that, yeah. It gets a little confusing, but I promise it'll make sense the more we go through this presentation. Articles are content items such as like tech notes or help topics. So some common ways to categorize your Help Center is by who is the persona that's actually going to be using it, right? Is it tier 1? Is it tier 2 support? Is it admin or end user? Like who's the one that's actually using it to find information? You can also categorize it by product, by geography, by, is it a new user? Is it an advanced user? Who is the type of customer that you're trying to create content for? There are a lot of different ways that you can think about how to organize your Help Center. So some best practices to keep in mind is to understand who your users are and what information they need the most. So know your users well and identify their main questions and tasks. This will help you create content that fits their needs and improve their experience. Arrange your content in a logical order, starting with broad topics and then moving into more detailed ones. This structure helps users navigate easily without any unnecessary confusion. Choose simple and familiar words for titles so that they instantly recognize relevant topics. Clear labels reduces the time users spend searching for answers. Place the search bar where users can see it immediately. This allows them to find specific information without having to browse through all of the different options that you have. Position frequently asked questions where users notice them at once, so that, such as on the left side of the page. This placement helps users solve common questions quickly. Design your Help Center to support future growth and changes. A flexible structure keeps navigation simple, even as your content expands. So why is it important to plan your structure? This helps you focus on user needs by designing your content around customer behavior and frequent queries, resulting in clear, intuitive structure that helps users find information they need quickly and effortlessly. It helps you prepare for growth. Thoughtful planning establishes a flexible framework that supports expansion. So as you introduce additional topics and articles, the system stays well organized and user-friendly. And lastly, it helps streamline content management. A carefully planned structure enables your team to efficiently locate, update, and maintain articles. So this improves workflows and ensures that the information remains accurate and up to date.
We're going to be jumping into a live demo now that I'll share in a second. So if you're logged into your Zendesk instance or sandbox, you feel free to follow along. Like Shrivanti mentioned, if you're reading a lot of this stuff about the structure of categories, sections, and potentially subsections and articles, it can be a little confusing, but once you actually start working in your instance and setting up those categories, getting feedback on it, then it becomes less confusing. So we're going to be going step by step of adding a new category to your knowledge base. And I'll also show you how this category fits into your help center structure and what your customers will see once it's published. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to our demo instance for Coffee & Co. So I'm logged into Coffee & Co. on the main landing page for support. I'm going to go ahead and hit those 4 tiles. We're going to go to knowledge. And I'm going to go ahead and go to the knowledge admin section here. So from here, I can go ahead and click on the top left add dropdown. And here we have the options of adding articles, other options that we'll talk through later, but we're going to focus on adding a new category to our help center. So we'll click on category. And for this example, let's say I want the main category that appears on the Help Center front page to be orders. The description is optional, but we'd want to add something in for search engine optimization. So let's go ahead and add something in here. So for orders, I'm going to copy this description that says, find everything you need about placing, tracking, and managing your orders so you can enjoy your coffee without hassle. And then for those of you who are on a enterprise subscription, you'll notice this template structure here. So you have a template layout for your categories or potentially your articles of how the layout should look like. You can have templates saved in here, which we'll cover in a future demonstration. But for now, just an FYI, you can have templates here. And we'll go ahead and point out that the source language here is English by default. So if you have your help center defaulted to English, be a good idea to have the source language here in your help center article set to English as well. We'll step through how to add another source language in a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and add this category. All right. So now that we've got this category in place, I'm going to go ahead and add a section. And this section would live potentially within that order section here. So I'm going to go ahead and name this order issues. And we're going to go ahead and also add a description, again, for search engine optimization. And for your internal purposes too, if you've got different content writers, it'd be good to add a description so that everyone's aligned on what's being added here. The source language we're leaving as American English. For ordering articles, we've got a few options here. We can order them by creation date, latest first, creation date, latest last, or alphabetical by order. I would recommend just keeping it by the default manual, and I'll show you what that looks like in a second. And then we're going to go ahead and if you have an enterprise subscription, again, your screen might be a little bit different, but you can also order the subsections in a similar way. So if you don't see these options, you might not have the enterprise plan, but that's okay. Not really a requirement right now. So we're going to go ahead and make sure that we select the category hierarchy. So we just created the main category of orders. I want this section to live underneath orders. So I'm going to go ahead and click orders, select. And again, if you have a template, it would be listed here. But if not, we're going to go ahead and leave this by default. We're going to add that. And this is how you add a section to your knowledge base. So remember, if you only have one category, then the category itself is hidden to end users. So if the only category that is on your Help Center currently is orders, like in this example, that won't show on the Help Center page. It'll go automatically to list out your sections. But once you add more categories, then you'll start seeing those main buttons on the Help Center page. When the users click into them, they'll be able to get to the article section. So if we want to see how the Help Center articles, categories, and sections are ordered, we're going to go and click into this Arrange Content button on the left-hand menu here. And we'll see here we have the ability, since we have it set to manual, that we can order the categories in here. You can drag and drop and reorder them. You can also do the same thing by going into the actual category. So if I had multiple sections in here, then I'd be able to drag and drop them the same way. And that's how you build and organize your Help Center. So by creating categories and sections, you set up clear structure for your knowledge base. And with the Arrange Content feature, you can easily reorder everything so it looks exactly how you want. These tools give you the flexibility to keep your Help Center organized, intuitive, and easy for your customers to navigate. So let's go back and go to the presentation. And we're going to do a few more live demos in a bit to give you a bit more context on how we can arrange the sections and articles created. So how to structure your content. So Help Centers for online retailers, a common type of B2C company, focus on assisting customers with placing orders or handling related issues like shipping or returns. Some tips for B2C Help Centers: keep the content structure as flat and simple as possible. Maybe use one level of organization with the sections with articles. Write articles to be concise and direct, clearly showing the actions a customer needs to take to resolve issues. Very common type of example would be how to reset my password if there's an external site that they're having to log into. Make the search bar prominent, since customers prefer to search over navigating through multiple layers. And categorize the information thoughtfully, but keep navigation simple to avoid overwhelming the user. So keeping things straight and simple and easy to navigate by organizing your content into clear sections with straightforward articles. No one likes digging through complicated menus. Make your articles short and sweet, focus on clear, actionable steps so the customers can quickly find their answers. Make the search bar stand out. Most customers prefer typing, and be thoughtful of how you group the information so we don't overcomplicate the navigation. All right, so how to structure your content. Help Centers for B2B companies, business to business, focus on helping users understand how to use software, apps, or services to improve the business operations. So they organize content simply with clear categories and sections, providing concise and action-oriented articles that guide users step by step. So some tips for B2B Help Centers: focus on helping customers understand how to use your products, software, or services to provide support their businesses need. Provide in-depth technical content that empowers technical staff to manage and customize the product without needing direct support. Highlight use cases and workflows relevant to different industries or business roles. So we're tailoring the content to show how your product solves a specific challenge in various business contexts, helping users see real world value. And enable role-based access to content for different users. So for example, admins, end users, and managers. So we can customize the Help Center visibility so users find content relevant to their responsibility. And we'll dive into this later on of how we can restrict certain articles by their role and access type. So you could have a situation where an admin logs into a Help Center, they see very specific content related to admin functions versus maybe an end user that's maybe presented with more basic help center content, but maybe still has access to search for that more complex set of topics. So help centers for B2E, business to employee companies, focus on providing employees with essential information to get started and support their daily work, such as submitting expense reports, IT help. These help centers organize internal resources clearly and often serve as a portal to other tools and systems employees use. So they provide essential information to employees needed to start their job and perform their daily tasks. Design the help center with a practical approach focusing on usability rather than aesthetics. Some people just want to get in, get the answers, and not worried about the flashy aesthetics part. So we're including links to portals and other internal systems that those users might need in their day-to-day to collaborate with employees as well. Use the help center structure to organize numerous internal resources and avoid confusion. And lastly, ensure easy access through prominent search function and clear navigation from the homepage. So give employees the key information they need to hit the ground running and handle their tasks smoothly. Build the help center around practicality and ease of use. Focus on function over design. Incorporate links or portals to other internal tools and systems that employees rely on. Organize the help center to bring together all the internal resources in one place to reduce clutter and avoid confusion. And make sure everything's easy to find with clearly visible search bar and straightforward navigation from the homepage. So managing who can access your help center is important, safeguarding sensitive information and customizing the experience for various user groups. You can adjust the help center access based on your specific business requirements. You can limit your help center in two ways. You can restrict the help center to signed in users. So this prevents anonymous visitors from actually accessing your help center and content by requiring the users to sign in. This is known as a restricted help centers. Visitors will only see the sign-in page if they navigate to your help center's URL. The second option is by setting view permissions that restrict signed-in users to what we call user segments. User segments is not available on the Suite Team subscription. So if you have that, this next section won't be relevant to you. But with restricting signed-in users to a user segment, you can define which of your help center users can have view access by setting the help center view permissions. So the following options are available. Signed in users. This indicates the internal or external users who create an account and are signed into your help center. Agents and managers. This option is for staff members only, so that you can create content that is internal only. And you can think about this like in a HR use case as an example. This is only content that might be relevant for those agents or managers in a HR example. The last one is custom user segments. So this option enables you to restrict viewing access to specific users based on tags or organizations or groups by applying custom user segments. So if you have organizations set up, you could restrict certain content to be visible to certain organizations, not making it visible to everyone, or be driven by tags or groups as well. You can also restrict access to specific areas of your knowledge base. We'll share some articles after the event on how to do this as well in more detail. Why is it important to optimize help center visibility? So we want to protect the sensitive information by restricting access to confidential or internal content, keeping it secure from unauthorized users. We're limiting the access to confidential or internal content. You protect important data from unauthorized users and ensure compliance with privacy or other security regulations that you might have. Next, we're showing relevant content to users based on their roles or needs, helping them find the answers and avoiding all the unnecessary categories or sections or articles that might not be relevant to their day-to-day. By assigning access to users based on their roles or needs, finding the answers quickly, reducing frustration, and improving overall experience. Simplify permission management so you can easily assign and adjust access rights, reducing mistakes. and saving time for your support team. So you can easily assign and adjust access rights. This lowers errors, saves your support team time, and ensures everyone has the access they need for their specific job. So we're going to go into another live demo. When you want control over who can access your help center, you have a couple of options for restricting access. You can either require all visitors to sign in before they can see any content, or you can go any further by setting view permissions so that only specific groups like agents or customers with certain tags can access certain parts of your knowledge base. So in this demo, we're going to show you different ways to restrict your help center access. So going to go ahead and switch over back to the demo instance here. Let's start over as if I'm logging in for the first time, just for those who might be joining. So we're going to go ahead, knowledge. We're going to go to the knowledge admin setting here. We're going to navigate in the left menu here down to this little gear icon, which is the settings. It's going to default to this help center settings button here. And if we go down to the security section, here we can select require sign-in. So this means that users who create an account and sign up for your help center to access. So if the customer is on an employee service plan, this option is not selectable. This help center is restricted to signed in users only. So in the next episode of this series, we'll discuss how to restrict access to the help center for a specific user. So don't miss that. And this is how you restrict access to your help center so that only the right people can see your content. By using these settings, you control who has access to your knowledge base and make sure that it matches your customer needs. And for this demo, let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and click update to make sure that setting applies. Let's go back to the slide deck. So this might not be something that you need right now, especially if your customer base speaks mainly just one language. However, when you decide to expand into new markets or serve a more diverse audience, supporting multiple languages in your help center becomes crucial. So a well-configured help center with content in multiple languages improves user experience and satisfaction. Providing localized information helps users find answers quickly and reduces support requests. Zendesk offers tools to manage and deliver multilingual content effectively in your help center. To support multiple languages in your help center, you must enable each language you want to provide. For every enabled language, you can customize the help center name and key text snippets to match the language. Once languages are enabled, you can add localized content so that your users can select their preferred language when they access relevant articles easier. Some quick reminders: your help center language settings are separate from the languages configured in your main Zendesk support instance. You must enable every language that you want to support in your help center before adding translated content. Each enabled language allows you to customize the help center name and text snippets in that language. After enabling languages, you need to add localized versions of those articles and content. Without localized contents, users will see a default language even if they select another language. So we're making sure that if you have an article in English, that if you have added another language like Spanish, which we'll do in a second, that you're actually taking that article and localizing it in Spanish. So when they click Spanish, they're presented with, in this example, a Spanish article. And after this session, we'll provide you with more resources on how to localize your content with some articles, and we'll show you how to begin the process in the next few slides. So how translated content appears in your help center. The difference between having a language enabled and having translated content available for that language has implications on what a user sees in the Help Center. So for example, the default language for a Help Center might be US English. The Help Center might also provide translated content in, let's say, French or Spanish. The language a user sees in your Help Center depends on this order. The first, the language in the page's URL, if there is one. The second, the language set for a user's current session. 3, the language in the user's profile. 4, the user's browser's preferred language. And lastly, 5, other languages the browser may support. If none of these 5 match, the Help Center shows your default language. So you can use Zendesk's AI-powered translation feature to quickly and accurately translate Help Center articles, effectively managing multilingual content and enhancing support for users in different languages. More information can be found on our Help Center, which we'll share with you after the event. So some sample scenarios. Scenario 1, the user's browser language is a language that's not enabled in the Help Center. This user sees the article in the default language. So if a user has Polish set as their default language and tries to access the Help Center in Polish, but the Help Center site does not have a Polish translation, then they'll be redirected to the default language of the Help Center. So in this example, it would be defaulted to see the content in English instead if there's not a translated article. Scenario 2, the user's browser language is a language that is enabled in the Help Center, and there is a translated content in that language available for that article. The user automatically sees the translated content. So if a user's default language is French, they will see the articles translated into French, even if the URL does not include the French locale. When they visit the main Help Center link, they are automatically redirected to the French version of the site. Scenario 3, the user's browser language is a language that is enabled in the Help Center, but there's no translated content in that language available for that article. The article will not show up in that browser's language version of the Help Center if the user tries to navigate manually to that article in a language that has not been translated. Then the user sees an error page or is redirected to the home page for that language. So, for example, a user with French set as their default browser language sees all the articles that have been translated into French. But if any articles have not been translated, they get a message that the page does not exist. This is because the French locale that has been set up, but it's not populated for every article. So next, let's talk about why should you enable the languages in your Help Center. Let's go in and just talk through real quick. Reducing support volume, demonstrate inclusivity, and expanding your global reach. And as Brett said, we're going to send some helpful articles afterwards to show you how to actually enable language in your Help Center step by step. So for timing purposes, we're going to skip this, and we're going to go ahead and go to the next slide. And Shravanti, if you don't mind, I'm going to get a sip of water after all that yapping.
All good. Awesome. So with all of the insights that we shared today, we're hoping that you're well prepared to create a Help Center that empowers your users and lowers your support requests. Next week, we will be talking about how to define roles within the self-service team by exploring the different guide roles and user segments for managing visibility and permissions. We can go ahead and jump to the Q&A, Jonathan.
Let's do it.
All right. So if anybody wants to share their questions in the chat, now is a great time and we'll answer them live. But Pablo did ask a question during the presentation. So is there an option to leave the Help Center open to users, but when creating tickets, ask them to log in with their accounts?
By default, no. The main Help Center access would need to be toggled to either sign in or essentially anonymous. There's not a way natively to say leave the help center open, and then once they go to click on submit a ticket, then require the login. That's not to say that maybe someone who's very savvy can go in and write a custom HTML, CSS to actually do that and present the user with a login, but natively there's not like a quick toggle to do that.
It's a good question.
Yeah.
And then as we wait to see if anybody else has any questions in here, Richard did have a question earlier that I was able to share some documentation around. His question was, what is search engine optimization and what does that do? I don't know if either of you have anything else you want to add around search engine optimization or any best practices that you share with your customers when they're creating content in their help center.
Shrivanti, I don't know if you have experience with this. Most of the customers that I work with very restricted help centers, so they actually don't want their help center categories and stuff showing up in search engines. But not sure if you've dealt with specific scenarios of customers maybe wanting to improve search engine optimization.
No, this is the first one. This is the first time I'm coming across that. It's a good question. I would
say some best practices is to consider the first 75 words, I believe, is of the article that you're creating, correct? Because that's where search engines usually first look when showing results, especially in the help center. It looks at the first 75 words. And so you want to make sure that when you're creating your articles that you're including the very important points for the customer and also speaking in the customer's language, I would say, are good best practices for search engine optimization as well.
Clear. And then Richard's asking a good question here around the login. So I'm switching over back to the demo. So if I go to the help center in this example, if I didn't have that toggle to require users to sign in, when they land on this specific URL for your help center page, they would be presented with the landing page here, any category sections and articles, and then they would have an option to submit a request. If this toggle is enabled for sign-in, then they would, let me see if I could just show this for a second. So if I sign out, they're essentially presented with this login screen, Richard, if we toggle that sign-in required. So they would have to actually sign up within the Zendesk Help Center for you to create an account. And then once they submit their full email, verified email address, then they would be able to log in and see that homepage and submit a request. But by default, the Help Center is public, so anyone can access it. If you want to restrict it to signed in users, then yeah, they would actually see a sign-in page or have the option to sign up in order to submit. So that prevents users, spamming your Help Center. This at least allows you to capture their name and email address here.
I want to thank you to everyone who was able to join us today. I hope you found this first part of our 5 steps to getting started with self-service series helpful. And I want to thank you to our hosts, especially with some of those long talking points. I hope you get a lot of water after this. But yeah, thank you for answering our questions and sharing best practices around self-service in Zendesk. So after this session, we will be sharing out a post-event email. Should be out before end of week, but if you've registered for this event, you'll get that post-event email, which will include a quick summary of everything that we've covered today, a link to the presentation deck that we've shared with you today, and the video recording for today's session as well. We'll also include any useful Help Center links. So if you want to go back and walk step by step through some of these processes for setting up your Help Center, you can look at the articles as well. But thank you again, everyone, for joining, and we hope to see you at our next session. Thank you.
Thanks
Thanks, everyone.